Dr. M. Subaya is an assistant professor in mathematics in LN Government College, Poneri. He has specialized on statistics interdisciplinary. Being interested in active research program and mathematical or statistical modeling, he has knowledge in operating various softwares on statistical tools and on technical computing. Having 16 years of teaching experience, he has published papers in 8 national and international journals and has also presented papers in 10 national and international conferences.
Welcome to the UGC lecture series on mathematical sciences. So, the topic header says that we are going to see the descriptive statistics and probability, the concepts of probability. But to start with, we try to understand how the notion of statistics being done in an entirety, because the models which is based on probabilistic learning, which is completely based on the non-deterministic processes, where the role of uncertainty is more involved, so that it is not possible to completely quantify or characterize through a mathematical or a deterministic functional form. So, let me say a simple difference between these two before we proceed straight away into the direct contents of the present discussion, because the proper understanding of the samples and the required data types, why we need to understand what is the idea behind in it, what is the motivation in fact. So, if we are doing a process, say for example, I am trying to calculate the area of a square. So, it is pure and a simple mathematical problem. As long as we know the side of the square may be given by 4 centimeters for example, then it is easily calculatable as 4 square or 16 square units. This is an example of a mathematical form which relates the side and then area, a functional form. So, symbolically A, if I call it as area, so area could be equal to x square or r square, whatever may be the symbol we denote it for side of a square. However, in reality not all the processes are such an easily frameable in a deterministic format, in a functional form. Many processes are non-deterministic in nature, so that always there will be a part what we call it as error, might be in the computation, might be in the measurement and etc. So, while doing or while dealing with such concepts of non-deterministic relations, so we need to first of all to quantify such unpredictable quantities, what I call it as just now maybe simpler term error, because you do not know how it happens. In some languages we call it as noise. So, we may not know how it occurs, when it could occur. So, naturally the notion of unpredictability plays a vital role here. So, that the idea of this non-deterministic model basically comes into probabilistic domain, where probability is a language to quantify uncertainty. While doing so, we need to understand first of all how do we incorporate these probabilistic concepts, which is basically to quantify this uncertainty into the realm of or the area of statistics. So, how it works? So, there is a bridge, we need some mechanism to handle. So, the contents for this lecture would be dealing with the main aspect of the first two ideas, population and sample. So, as long as we are not able to calculate the quantity of interest If you remember the first example where the quantity of interest is area of a square, once the side is known, we are able to calculate. The word calculate is very much appropriate here. Whereas, when you are not able to measure basically and the underlying characteristics of the quantity, then it is not possible to calculate in a finite form or in a deterministic form, may not be in a finite, but deterministically. So, we are going to make use of one word called estimation. It is not going to be complete calculation process, it is basically an estimation, because when you are trying to eliminate the error part to maximum possible extent, for that the underlying principle is we must quantify that error basically, maybe in a mathematical form or in a non-mathematical form, at least to understand how the error could be. For example, suppose I try to report my time, anybody asks what is the time. So, I could say 11:30. So, everybody we know that it is not exactly 11:30, definitely a second plus or minus, not minus basically, it is plus. And even if you measure it more stringent way with the microsecond and picosecond and so on and so forth, still there is an inherent error in reporting the time, in reporting my height, in reporting my weight, or in future what I will do. So, what will happen to my future? These are all very much unpredictable, rather you can estimate. So, the process of calculation and estimation is two different entity. Basically, there is one more entity lying in between, that we are calculating with some acceptable error, where we are allowing some, that means a tolerance. So, there is an area of mathematics where we are able to do, when the closed form solutions are not available like area of a square, we are able to approximate the solution at least. So, there are three words we have coined. Number 1, calculation. Number 2, approximately you calculate. Number 3, estimate. So, estimation is different from this approximation. You are not approximating. Suppose I am saying my height, I know that I am going to have some error in my measurement, even if the instrument is perfectly calibrated. So, that you can minimize that error of measurement, but still there will be. So, it is an approximate. There are many methods in that area available. Even when we try to solve an equation, we may not get a closed form solution which is comfortable in a quadratic form, whereas in cubic or higher degree equation we may have approximate solutions where with allowable or tolerated limits of error. So, this is approximation. This lecture is not about that kind of aspect called approximation, it is based on the estimation. Though we are not going to deal straight away with the process of estimation and the ideas of ideas dealing with estimation theory in statistical inference, to start with I just want to give the motivation that why do we require such a process of population and sampling. Now, let us look into carefully the contents, population and sample. So, basically our interest lies on to understand how a very big study entities, what we call it as population or universal or universe of our study. So, how this population behave, we do not know. A quick example would be when do we have an accident in a metro city. So, that is a population. So, we may not know, it is unpredictable, though everybody is interested to stop or avoid accidents, it would happen at any point of time to anyone. So, this is a perfect unpredictable event and you cannot understand the effect of the accident. So, how many of them are injured or the vehicle is injured, how many of them are involved, nobody can find out till that particular event has happened. So, if I would like to understand the pattern of accidents, so basically if I take a metro city like Chennai, then this is a population of my study. It is very difficult to cover the entire population of my quantity of interest. So, I may have to go for some sort of area. So, sample I will take. Therefore, the idea for understanding the unpredictable quantity of interest which will happen normally in a population can be studied through sample. So, that sample could not necessarily a very small piece of information, it could be even larger, but still it is a sample. More precisely, I could say a marketing manager might be interested in knowing what is the brand switching or brand choice. So, the among youth I could say. So, I just reduce the population size if you could understand. So, the entire youth aged between 18 and 25 in Chennai or in a metro would be the population. You can easily understand that it is nearly impossible or it is very difficult to enumerate all possible people or the youths lying between or in this age group. So, that I can understand what is their preference or what is their way of switching from one brand to another brand. It is a very important problem in marketing, model switching problem. So, why people are churning out, why people are changing. So, we need to take a sample of certain groups and then understand how and in what way this unpredictable quantity at least behave, the characteristics we could understand. So, that from this sample you could project what could be or what would be in the population. So, you are going to estimate, not again I am telling you exactly calculate what will happen, it is just an estimation process, but we cannot take granted that estimation might have error. So, that the aim is to minimize the error. So, that the concept starts from fundamentally how good my sample would be, how good it represents the problem, it represents the population. These are all the responsibility for having samples. So, there are different sampling technique, but I am not going into that depth in this lecture, but it is the area of concern to start with a non-deterministic problem, because sometime the population study would be destructive. For example, if I would like to test a lifetime of a bulb, then naturally it will be allowed to glow for about 1500 hours or 2000 hours till it burns off. If you would like to test your entire population, what will happen? You will blow off or you will glow every bulb and the lifetime will be over, and what is the notion or I mean what is the idea of protection? If you take for example, many consumer items, edible or any consumable item, you cannot test it for 100%, medicines, okay. It is only a lab test, it is only a sample test. Based on that sample, I am able to predict or I am able to estimate, I am able to understand what are all the various ways an error could be involved in that. Let us purchase a bike, we could say that the consumption of the petrol is so and so kilometer per liter. So, it is a tested statement, it is not tested for the entire quantum of vehicles the company is producing, it is tested for a sample, and then sample should be representative. So, the concept of population and sample is important, that is why I drag certain issues in the content itself. Then naturally, we have to understand what kind of data you are going to deal to understand these two processes, and then how the data could be measured. So, the idea of measurement scale. So, the one point which we are not going to cover is the various sampling techniques, that is also a very much important area of statistical theory, but we are not going to deal in this present discussion. Okay. So, quicker look at these slides, we could have all the ideas whatever I just talked about as a general as well as in example, these are all given in a very clear text. So, the complete collection of units about which information is sought, that is what the population, as I mentioned you, the youth of age group 18 and 25 in a metro or in any city or anywhere possibly, okay, or in the entire country if you could say, that is also a population of interest. So, population of interest typically based on the problem under study. So, that is what which information is sought, a single entity, usually an object or persons, anything for that matter whose characteristics are of very much important and interest in our study. So, a variable of interest, it could be of anything. Variable, if I could say, naturally a quantity which could vary, maybe increasing or decreasing. So, my age or my height it will increase and then after some time it will stop. So, you may not have a chance to grow after some age. It depends on your gender, it depends on the race, or it depends on the gene, etc., food habit and sports, I mean play and etc. So, how much you are able to grow and a particular up to particular age. Therefore, the variables are normally tend to change. So, that variable of interest would be what are the characteristics involved in that. So, the population, we have two types of populations, what we are going to target and the entire group of people or objects we are going to use, or you can have accessible population, that is what I mean to say, entire country, or you are going to access only in a partial, maybe in a metro or divided by a metro. So, the populations are quite important in our notion of understanding the unpredictable items. From the population you are going to collect the samples. So, samples are also important, which I consolidated already what is the real importance of samples. So, how the samples and the corresponding data types are quite important, let us discuss after a small break. So, welcome back to the discussion on population. I just consolidate with this example. Let us quickly go into the slide. In the slide where I just to give 3 examples to be correctly, low birth weight infants admitted to a particular hospital, all school age children with asthma in a specific school, all books in a library in a selected university. So, these are all normally it looks very much numerically it is very large. Yes, of course, to some extent, but low birth weight need not be very large number. It is an university, not in a specific college or so. So, that it may be very huge, but that does not matter for a population. In my example, in fact, I took human of age group 18 and 25. It is a country like us in India, it could be very large, therefore, it is not an issue. So, the population would be considering any kind of such data, any kind of such information. I use the word information in the beginning, then we will go to the systematic usage of the word data. So, the information contained in this library are in a different form, subject, number of books, how long people are coming, how many people are coming, how many boys, girls, lecturer, visitors, others. So, there are lot of problems involved in this particular area. Let us take this example. What is the gender, what is the real birth weight, in what way the doctors are calling it as low, or which doctor is taking care, what is the care taken during their pregnancy. There are lot of problems involved in looking at this kind of population. So, there are a lot of variables and each variable could have kind of data. So, what are they? Basically it is qualitative and quantitative. So, qualitative you can easily remember, it talks about quality and it is quantity. Just now I told my age, my color, my gender, my these are all the attributes. Okay. So, it is a quality. So, quality of water, it is measurable. So, how much you have? So, I mean how many bottles of water you have, how many liters of waters you have, it is a quantity. So, quality and quantity are the two important aspects which would normally interested by in the calculations. So, I may be interested in these many things you could understand. These are all sometime very much latent variables, in the sense you cannot measure directly. We could ask people, are you happy? The answer could be yes or no or so. Okay, I am not so happy or not so sad, but you cannot ask them how much or what is the quantity you are happy, how much you are happy. So, that is difficult. So, you could say, are you do you have money? Yeah, then the answer could be how much. So, it is a measurable, but sometimes these quantities like qualitative variables are difficult to say, like smell, taste, appearance, but still the calculations or the statistical models for all these kind of variables are enormous. For this, the basic idea is to understand the difference, qualitative and quantitative. So, there are lot of examples I have coined, length, height, area, volume, many things I have talked already in the discussion so far in the session. So, quantity will be called a quantitative variable. So, then I am going to say how to measure them. Is it so important? Absolutely, it is important for understanding the data type and even to describe the data in a more condensed form, in a summarized format. So, the data types are important. So, initially we observed that quantitative data and qualitative data. So, here I would like to pin a small mathematical notion here. Generally, we call sometime in mathematics discrete and continuous. There is a that could be a helpful input here, because discrete would be countable, that means enumerable. So, number of lights switched on today, number of power failure happened in the morning, or number of buses plying through this point to this point. These are all numbers. Like the other example we have seen in the slide, number of books in the library, number of visitors. At the same time, I could say a slightly different variable, how long a visitor is spending in the library, how long the bus takes from one destination to another destination. It is not countable, it is measurable. What is the time, what is your height, what is the weight, and so on. For certain practical purpose, these measurable variables are sometimes truncated to a nearest integer possibly. For example, when we write when we fill application, basically especially the age, normally people asking the completed age, because as I mentioned you, time is useful to convey our age. When time is not precisely calculatable, exactly calculatable, your age is not so, age is also, you cannot say what is your exact age, preferably we could have a completed age. So, at the particular month, what will be your completed age? This is a normal way of collecting data, though it looks like continuous variable. We may try to say that it is discretized, or it may be rounded to the nearest integer, 21 years, 22 years, and so on and so forth. So, it is all convenient sometime. That convenience should have the mathematical idea also, so that later on models are amenable, models are easy to applicable. Therefore, it is not so difficult to understand this idea. Now, let us look at this particular scales of measurement. So, when you try to measure, not necessarily they are in a continuous scale, that is what I would like to give the difference between mathematical sense of measurement and this statistical sense or the data oriented point of view. Here, any kind of data you try to collect, that what we call it as measurement, but it would be in a different scale. Maybe on a larger perspective, I could say it may be a discrete way, or a discrete nature, or a continuous nature, count or measurable once again. Okay. So, measurable means mathematically, or in a strict mathematical sense, it would assume any value in the real line, minus infinity to plus infinity, maybe positive, or I mean always non-negative, or so on and so forth. But discrete values basically assumes integer values 1, 2, 3 and so on. So, that it are all discretized, sometime even negatives also taken. So, that you have a yardstick of 0. So, more than 0 it may be positive, and less than 0 it may be negative, and we have positives and negatives also. But basically a counting variable assume non-negative integer or simply natural numbers, and including 0 also. So, as I mentioned you, the number of accidents happened in the city on a particular day, no accident. So, you could say 0. So, 0 is a possible value for a count variable. Now, the scales which I refer here talks about nominal, very simple to understand. Next level, that level also matters. We are going to the next higher level. In fact, why we say it is a higher level, I will let you know after the 4 items are listed. So, nominal scales basically useful for qualitative, and it may not have the distinction with quantitative, and it does not have 0, it cannot be expressed or represented in an interval form, it may not have magnitudes. So, magnitude you may know, you could say that it is the quantum. So, magnitude is what your height or your weight, you could say it has a magnitude 80 kg or 155 centimeters, etc. But here the variables are not so. Quick and simple examples are gender, say male, female, cross gender, transgender, and etc. So, there are classification by which these variable gender is scaled. That is what the nominal scale is all about. So, it need not have the ranking also. Once it has a ranking, then we call it as ordinal. When we say gender with no bias, that means I am not giving any specific preference for the gender, then writing male, female or the others will not make any difference between the combination of the three. You could say female, male, others or others, male, female, anything for that matter. So, we are not giving any preference for that ordering in which it occurs. So, I could say a binary, a 2 outcomes variable. So, will you accept this offer? Suppose that is my question, then the answer would be yes or no. There is no ordering here. You could say no or yes or no. It does not make much difference as far as the information or the data is being collected and the measured. So, ordinal scale on the other hand will have typically ranking. So, I could say less interested, more interested, very much interested, extremely interested. Okay. I could ask a student in the class how many, I mean what is the way of interest in the sports. Somebody could say not at all interested, somebody could say interested, I mean so, not very much, and somebody say very much interested, somebody extremely, and somebody could call them in a more exemplary way, say I am a sports person. That is the final thing. This is an ordered way. So, because the way in which these people quantify themselves will have the natural ordering, they put it in a higher level. It may be in the other way also, lower order also, but for an example I am telling it starts from lower to higher or vice versa, anywhere it can be, but generally it has a it has an ordering. But importantly, that ordering need not have an space between these two. In the sense, the interest in the sports between the first category and second category, not at all interested and interested, these two cannot be compared as like the category 1 and 5 exemplary, that means I am a sports person. So, it is not necessary. Therefore, these equal intervals are not possible. Magnitude is there, but not equal intervals, or it does not have an absolute 0. You cannot say I am not at all interested. So, you will have that 0 interest is not possible. So, when you give the interval scale, these problems are removed. It has a magnitude, equal intervals are possible, but not absolute 0. So, it is comparable, but may not have a absolute 0. What you have for other scale which contains everything in the order, naturally we call it as ratio scale. Now, you could understand why I give you the order in which the scales are listed here. Nominal, lowest in the measurement, next comes ordinal, you have an order, but not the comparative magnitudes, then we have interval which is possible, then finally, the ratio. So, models which are applicable for nominal may not be suitable for this ordinal data format, because it needs a special attention how this ordinal data should be displayed, or it should be given as a summary, or it could be applicable or applied with any inferential procedures with statistical models, anything for that matter. So, the fundamental of statistical inference should be based on the difference between these measurement scales also. So, how much we are given importance for understanding the broad classification of the data. The next is how the data being collected on a different perspective, especially on a different measurement scales. So, put it in an order once again: nominal, ordinal, interval and ratio is the way the measurement scales are taken from the least order to the highest order scale. So, measurement, why we are going to have the process of assigning numbers to objects, which is quite important for many purposes, because we need to even for male, female you could say 1, 0 and so on. So, for applying mathematical equations, mathematical formulas, the numbers are more important than putting it in a categorical form. Then we need to do application of rules and assign numbers to objects. Various procedures should be applied, so that the qualities and the attributes even. I asked you how much, I mean happy, happier, not slightly, not at all, extremely. So, these words are enumerated, or these words to be given weightage to make it as calculatable or to apply it in a mathematical model for future purpose. So, this is the order I mentioned. and these are all the things we have understood from the 4 items we have. So, we have country of origin, male or female, animal or non-animal, married or single. So, that is the nominal scale. You could have many examples, Tamil Nadu, Andhra, Punjab. So, there is no need to have an order. You can select based on the population, for example, but now it is not so. You could have example for what you call it as ordinal, first place, second place, third place, fourth place. You have the idea behind how much it is being ordered. Then we have interval scale, where designates an equal interval ordering the distance between. For example, a 1 and 2 is the same as the distance between 4 and 5. You are able to give the collective information. So, if it is 4 and 6, the distance will be doubled. So, it is comparable, which is not possible in ordinal data. So, temperature and 0 degree Celsius does not have a natural meaning, we do not have it. The idea of ratio scale is also given with all the qualities it has, where 0 gram or weight, you could say it is a ratio, because you could say that an object which is not having a weight, absence of weight. So, summarizing the ideas, the core idea behind the understanding the statistical concepts lie on how your data being characterized based on their quality or quantity, then how do they are used for their measurement, that is scale of measurement. So, the last point which is given, nominal, ordinal, interval and ratio, can be collected with many examples, and there are certain examples I have given. Identify whether the following data sets are population or samples, and how it is going to distinguish between population and sample. So, qualitative and quantitative, volume of water, brand of pizza preferred, number of players. So, the words are quite important to characterize the variable of concern. Then what is the continuous variable? I use the word discrete and continuous. Then the incomes of a group of 50 loan applicants are obtained. What is the level of measurement, and similarly the other one. Notion of population, samples and the way of data collecting with the various forms of types may be qualitative and quantitative with a different measurement scale have been discussed in this session. Thank you for joining.